going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. Please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, those books are mandatory because they show you how the world really works. And in the times that we're in right now, we definitely need to know how the world works.
Much love
to those who purchased the Three Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. And remember, the New World Order cryptos are in my Patreon. Plus, I keep you up to date with the New World Order events. And that is so important because as we can see right now, we have the first quarter main event. And we know they're going to ride this towards the end of the year. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first. And right now, the market is flat, slightly down. Now, guys, do not forget CME opens tonight, so we know we're going to make a move. And then once the stock market opens, we know we're going to make another move. So it's very, very important to keep an eye on the actual indicators. This month is going to be a roller coaster ride for stocks and cryptos. Why? Because if the Fed is going to raise 50 basis points, which everyone is saying, we know they're going to raise, but if they do 50 basis points, we know the market is going to take a hit. So yes, in cryptos, we have open interest. And stocks, they have earnings. So I definitely see cryptos getting a slight lift and then pulling back. And I see the stock market pumping and dumping, but going towards the downward direction. Remember, the Crypto Teacher told you 2022 is going to be the start of some of the worst times in American history. They have to destroy this legacy market in order to give the digital economy, that global economy, a rise. Remember, the U.S. dollar is going to be gone as far as being the world reserve currency. Of course, we're still going to have a digital currency, but it will no longer be that world reserve currency, so that's going to affect America as a whole. And then, of course, we're going to see that digital yuan rise by that digital SDR. And in order for that to happen, there has to be a great event, a great distraction that's going to start. And we already know what that is. But guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. Yields, we saw them invert. Keep an eye on it. It's so important. The bond market is telling us, commodities are telling us that the market is about to take a beating. And then also, guys, volume, tether, USDC, and then of course we have the Fed. Make sure you're paying attention to the actual repo. I think it was like 1.6 trillion on Friday. So guys, I'll show you the manipulation. And also the Fed meets May 3rd and 4th. And then, of course, guys, we have Grayscale. Make sure you're paying attention to the Grayscale whale. Remember, they move lockstep with the Fed. And then also make sure you're paying attention to the allocations. And we know they're trying to get that spot Bitcoin ETF approved. Now, guys, I'm going to leave you with a Ben Gertzel video. If you have my new Road Order book, you know I wrote about it a long time ago. We understand how powerful these robots, algorithms, and drones are going to be because eventually they're going to be running themselves. They're going to be fixing themselves. Sounds like a movie? No. Remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the crypto teacher told you because he knows. When it comes to the new Road Order, it's all planned out. And guys, do not forget, it's Grammys tonight. NFTs will be in the spotlight. But guys, all I have for you, don't forget about the books, Cryptoteacher and the new Road Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, if you know cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The Crypto Teacher Stock Channel, Crypto Teacher Stocks. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming, while everybody's sitting at home, get their own stocks, the C-Word, the biotech stocks, and while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day.
We're launching quite soon. I believe the launch date is now out as April 18th. So on April 18th, we will have a Cardano version of the AGIX token. Now we're keeping the Ethereum version. We did a hard fork of AGIX a while ago, which allowed AGIX to be multi-chain. So we could have flavors of AGIX on multiple blockchains. For now, we will have the good old AGIX Ethereum and the new AGIX on ADA as a Cardano native asset. And we've actually been able to mint AGIX on ADA for some time. But the converter that we're launching April 18th allows anyone to use Plutus smart contracts to swap back and forth between AGIX and Ethereum, AGIX, ADA. And we had earlier versions of this converter that were more centralized in nature. We weren't that happy with. Now we're using Plutus in a quite elegant and high quality way for the converter. And I think what we've done there with the IOHK team together with the SingularityNet team will be a sort of a template that can be used for further Ethereum ADA native asset conversions. And I mean, this is important. It's a first step. It, of course, doesn't get you that far. And we're looking at putting the bulk of our effort in SingularityNet on the Cardano version of the platform rather than the legacy Ethereum version. So there's then a series of steps after that April 18th converter launch. So I mean, the next one will probably be staking of AGIX ADA tokens, just because it's a fairly straightforward thing to do. And the staking rewards we haven't worked out all the details, but will probably be more appealing than on the Ethereum version. So we'll be pulling more of the community who likes staking into the ADA native asset community. Then the bigger step after that will be porting the whole SingularityNet marketplace onto Cardano, and that's more of a technical step because we have some fairly sophisticated sort of multi-party escrow wallet system and so on in the platform. We need to get that all running in Plutus. Then the following step after that, which is even further in the future, I've been putting a bunch of time in the last few months into designing a new Cardano sidechain customized for AI, which is called Hypercycle. So in the first few steps going forward from here, SingularityNet will be running directly on the Cardano main chain, which is great. It's going to be a big step forward in scalability, speed, low cost, usability from the Ethereum infrastructure we've been working with. But concurrently with porting the SingularityNet marketplace and protocol onto Cardano main chain, we also have formed a team who's working on something called Hypercycle, which is a custom Cardano sidechain just for decentralized AI. And this I think can provide even another level of scaling and usability, high speed, low cost, and so forth. I mean, then you'll have a stack where you have Singularity Net atop Hypercycle, which is then running on top of Cardano main chain. And this is a combination of Cardano's Hydra interface, which is really an unprecedentedly flexible way to interface Cardano and other blockchains, including sidechains. And one thing that lets us do is run Plutus contracts on the sidechain, which is quite important. So we're using Hydra to interface with the sidechain in an elegantly isomorphic way. Then in the sidechain itself, we're using a mix of the proof of reputation consensus system we've prototyped in Singularity Net, and then something called Toda, which is developed by Tufi Saliba and Dan Tolliver, which is a ledgerless blockchain technology. So you have a blockchain and consensus mechanisms and no distributed or replicated ledger. Rather, each node or agent in the system is like its own micro ledger containing a Merkle tree recording its own history and the history of its neighbors. So by bringing together Hydra, Plutus, the Toda ledgerless blockchain, and then proof of reputation in a way that's customized to meet the needs of decentralized AI, and then leveraging what the Cardano main chain has to offer on the back end. I mean, I think at that point we're going to be so far beyond everything else out there that's going to be really, really exciting. And I think this is what we need to, overtake the big tech giants in the field of AI, right? Because our real competitors in my mind are Google and Amazon and Tencent and Facebook and Microsoft. I mean, these big companies are the ones that are dominating the AI that's rolling out across our planet, right? And if we want the decentralized AI ecosystem to compete with them, it can't be this slow, awkward, expensive thing that's only worth putting up with if you love the philosophy behind it, right? I mean, it has to be cheaper, faster, and slicker than what the big tech companies are doing. And there's a whole lot of aspects to that. But I think with the Cardano version of Singularity Net and then the Hypercycle sidechain added in, I mean, I think we have a real path to being better than what big tech is doing in terms of speed, cost, and usability, as well as being, philosophically and morally far superior, which is already the case.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.